a chilling flashback to 2002. Detective Jeong-ho corners I-shin and arrests her on suspicion of murder. He has been shadowing her every move, piecing together the trail she's left behind, and when her ornate hairpin turns up at a crime scene, it feels like the break he's been waiting for. But Aishin only laughs. The evidence isn't enough, and she knows it. In a chilling twist, it's revealed she's been watching him just as closely. She uses his compassion against him, making him promise to look after her son. In return, she dangles the possibility of a confession on her terms. The story then cuts back to the present. Jung-yeon unexpectedly comes face to face with I-shin, very much alive despite the world believing her dead. Calm and poised as ever, I-shin claims she faked her death to protect Jung-yeon's marriage, to prevent discord between her and Su-yeol. Su-yeol rushes over, his pulse quickening at the sight of the woman who has haunted his entire life. Meanwhile, Jeong-ho contemplates confessing everything to his unit in order to rally their help in tracking down I-shin. But just as he steels himself, a message from Su-yeol flashes across his phone. I-shin is secured. Relieved but suspicious, Jeong-ho swallows the truth once more. Commissioner Hong, already under scrutiny from higher authorities, warns Jeong-ho that unless he produces results, other cops will be brought in, jeopardizing Su-yeol's hidden identity. The investigation into Gu-wan's death continues. The team is thrown into further confusion when news breaks that Min-jae has been released. His alibi checks out. The pressure is mounting. Nahi grows increasingly curious about Su-yeol, noting how frantically he always works to save others, as though trying to erase some hidden guilt. Sung-yu, on the other hand, quietly enlists Jung-yeon to dig deeper into Min-jae's past. Su-yeol personally drives Min-jae home, warning him not to glorify serial killers. He strips away the veneer Aishin hides behind, telling Min-jae that despite her justifications, she kills simply because she enjoys it. But Min-jae refuses to let go of his mother. Angry and hurt, he lashes out, accusing Su-yeol of being no different, of rationalizing her monstrosities just so he doesn't have to admit he still misses her. He insists that for all her darkness, she loved them. The words sting, leaving Su-yeol shaken by the constant comparisons. Later that night, Jung-yeon shares a revelation. Su-yeol often calls out to his mother in his sleep. He brushes it off as nightmares, but she doesn't believe him. Back on the case, Su-yeol and Jeong-ho investigate I-shin's psychiatrist. They suspect someone may have stolen her confidential file to recreate her first murder. By tricking the psychiatrist, they manage to secure the file themselves. In it, I-shin speaks of her late husband and the trauma of watching her mother die in a fire. Su-yeol wants to come clean to the team about everything, but Jeong-ho warns him against it, fearing that their betrayal would derail the investigation. Elsewhere, Min-jae visits Ara, while Jung-yeon presses him about I-shin's parenting. He insists, with heartbreaking sincerity, that his mother was good to him, that whatever else she was still a mother. Meanwhile, Su-yeol confronts his grandfather about the fire. Jung admits he stopped Aishin from rushing in to save her mother, believing it was too late. From that day forward, she grew distant, the trauma festering into something darker. Jung blames himself for her transformation, and Su-yeol, though conflicted, offers him comfort. At the same time, Jung-yeon tails Min-jae and discovers he's using a dating app. He's fallen for a catfish account called Joey, who pretends to be a devoted fan of his webtoon. Disturbingly, Joey's other followers match the profiles of the copycat's victims. Sung-yu, alarmed, wants to pursue the lead quietly. But Nahi insists Su-yeol must be involved. Then everything escalates. Su-yeol receives a mysterious package, a mobile phone loaded with videos of the copycat murders. The killer himself calls, demanding the phone be delivered to the woman. Nahi and Sung-yu, fed up with secrets, demand the truth. Jeong-ho tries to shield Su-yeol, blaming Commissioner Hong, but Su-yeol steps forward and admits it, they've been working with I-shin. He apologizes for the secrecy, finally bringing the team into the fold. Nahi updates him about Joey. Jeong-ho warns Min-jae directly about the danger, but the young man only scoffs, amused by the supposed threat. The team relocates to a safe house, where Aishin cooperates outwardly, but continues making sly, unsettling inside jokes. The copycat calls again, his voice cold and theatrical. He announces his intention to make Aishin more famous, promising that his next victim will die during the final scene. They chase a lead to opera singer Kim Seo-jun, one of Jo-ai's followers. Aishin cautions it seems too obvious, but the police head to the theater regardless. During the performance, Seo-jun vanishes, but only because he fears being caught for drug use. The team is frustrated until Su-yeol spots a message from Min-jae. He has lured Jo-ai by offering her a private preview of his webtoon's ending. But the trap backfires. At the convenience store where Min-jae waits, an attacker suddenly appears and viciously beats him. Back at the safe house, Jeong-ho pleads with Aishin, begging her to reveal the full truth for her own sake. Did she truly try to kill Min-jae's father? Aishin's reply is cryptic. She insists she did everything she could for Min-jae, but no matter what she gave, he always longed for more. Suddenly, the copycat calls again, this time showing her a horrifying live feed. Min-jae strung up and helpless. Su-yeol and Na-hee arrive at the store, only to find Min-jae barely conscious. He collapses into Su-yeol's arms, and Su-yeol, voice breaking, begs him to live. Beside him, Na-hee watches the scene unfold, her expression clouded with unease. Shock ripples through the unit. I-shin comb through the crime scene where Min-jae's lifeless body lies. But for Su-yeol, the grief is suffocating. Guilt consumes him. He had promised to protect Min-jae, yet failed. In his despair, he strikes a deal with the devil. He agrees to think, act, and hunt like I-shin herself, relying on her twisted insight to catch the copycat. I-shin, disturbingly, seems almost delighted. For her, it feels like her son is finally accepting her legacy, no matter how monstrous. Elsewhere, Jeong-ho seeks comfort in his wife's arms. He confesses his doubts about helping Aishin, torn between duty and morality. But his wife's advice is clear. Do not complicate justice with feelings. The words ring heavy, yet provide him just enough resolve to keep going. The next call from the copycat sends chills down the unit's spine. Over speakerphone, Aishin mocks him for botching Min-jae's death, deriding his sloppiness. The taunt works. Desperate to prove himself, the copycat initiates a live video call. He reveals his elaborate setup for his fourth murder, his tone dripping with theatrical pride. But his arrogance is his undoing. Jung-yeon notices details in the background and identifies the location as a hotel. The unit races across the city. Inside the hotel, time is their enemy. They must search 10 floors, room by room. Na-hee argues to pull the fire alarm, reasoning that it would flush the killer out and save the victim. But Su-yeol, now immersed in Aishin's ruthless mindset, refuses. He doesn't want to spook the killer, even if it means letting the victim die. The coldness in his voice unsettles the team. As the clock ticks down, a breakthrough comes to Su-yeol. He remembers Aishin's fourth victim, killed in room 418. His hunch proves correct. The CCTV on the 4th floor has been disabled. They rush there just as the copycat raises his weapon. In a desperate move, Na-hee pulls the alarm, prioritizing the victim's life. The killer vanishes into the chaos, disguised as a guest. Though the victim is saved, suspicion lingers. Sung-gyu is baffled. Su-yeol, who once fought tooth and nail to save every victim, had opposed the alarm. Na-hee's unease hardens into determination. She tells Sung-gyu to start digging into Su-yeol's past. Meanwhile, Na-hee faces her own private battle. At a custody evaluation, she steels herself while her autistic son testifies that his father is always there for him. The words sting, yet she swallows her pain with quiet dignity. Back at the safe house, Su-yeol is shaken, thinking like I-shin nearly cost a man's life. But I-shin is unfazed. As Su-yeol is leaving, I-shin starts humming a tune. Startled, Su-yeol reviews the video call and catches a chilling detail. The copycat was singing the same personal song, a melody known only to her, never documented in any record. More revelations spill forth. Aishin admits her fourth victim, Kang Jeong-ho, bore 2 sets of wounds, one from her, and another shallow cut she did not inflict. She recalls his abused son, Yeon-jung, a boy so damaged that his nose had been burned off. He wandered with dead animals, calling her mother. In a flashback, we see him gleefully hiding in the shadows, watching as I-shin sang and murdered his father. Now grown, Yeon-jung has vanished without a trace. Jeong-ho wrestles with guilt. He failed to protect the boy from his violent father, and the consequences are now rippling into their present nightmare. The investigation branches out. Sung-gyu and Hyuk question manager Sun's friend, learning that Sun had been lured by Jo-ai. During their meeting, she chillingly asked him to kill her, terrifying him. Meanwhile, Nahi and Su-yeol track down Yeonjung's mother. Her dementia clouds her words, but she mutters that her child dresses as a woman and just left. The household nurse corroborates her story, though their CCTV is conveniently broken. The pieces click into place. Jo-ai isn't a faceless catfish. She is Yeonjung, now living as a trans woman. The unit scours clinics and medical records for leads. But while the team is distracted, Sung-gyu snoops through Min-jae's belongings. What he finds chills him. A photograph of Min-jae, I-shin, and a young Su-yeol together. Elsewhere, Su-yeol tracks down a nurse who remembers Jo-ai vividly. Unlike other patients who celebrated self-acceptance, Jo-ai was fascinated by something darker. She confessed excitement at being seen not as vulnerable, but as a woman others no longer perceived as a threat. Su-yeol hurries back to headquarters, but the unit is waiting. Nahi confronts him with the damning photograph. To Sung-gyu, it's proof Su-yeol is cut from the same cloth as his murderous mother. Nahi, furious at yet another betrayal, gives Jeong-ho a brutal ultimatum. Choose Su-yeol or choose the unit. That night, Su-yeol bears his soul to Jung-yeon. He finally tells her the truth about Aishin. The confession overwhelms her. She asks for space. Misunderstanding, Su-yeol thinks she fears him. In a rare moment of vulnerability, he admits he fears himself too. He doesn't want children, terrified that Aishin's killer instinct may live on in his blood. Yet before leaving, he holds her gaze and says what he's never stopped feeling. I love you.